2v2 as Adam B just immediately gets rid of Simple. Bomb planted in towards Market. And for Andrew, he's trying to take the space, and he's been able to do it.
Fight up mid. Check out this triple window setup early on just to do the spam, and well, it's not the triple setup that gets the dink, it's the single one of Nikodos.
Yeah, and look, you see 3 players in towards window. You hear a lot, and instantly BC Game are like, okay, we'll go mid to B. We'll immediately throw it into this execute. We'll make the rotations come over. And I was going to say you don't need to commit into the site, but Prime Taps is already out in the open. He's got rid of Spook. But there's plenty more reinforcements where that came from, but it might not matter. Prime Taps is once again carving open OG a Rosdos back site. Just trying to hold on. Give space for maybe Kristen to rotate in, but he's running out of time. There goes Kristen towards the mid lurk, but it's the double swing that prevails for BC Game. Kristen's position is known. It's a tricky 1v2.
There's a chance for him, though. I think there is a kit on one of the players on site. But a very difficult retake for him with the space that Prime Taps has taken into market. He's seeing no one is coming from that position, and now Kristen's spotted. Obviously in very dynamic positions to deal with players in middle or on their respective bomb sites. Moment, Andy's just going to post up middle. The rest of the squad is making their moves towards B, which would be a good call.
Yeah, this is also just creating conditioning as well. It's one of those things where you've had so much success. You had the pistol round that ends on the B bomb, so you had this first gun round where you immediately flex it into a mid to B, and now you're just reinforcing the idea that you're going to have to prioritize in the future OG potential reinforcements, a double setup over towards the B bomb site, where that means one player is not really as committed in towards short. Even have a third player, the AWP, flexing over a little bit later in Nikodos. It's already sort of reinforcing ideas here for the defense. It's making them inflexible, and that's exactly what OG don't want to be.
Chance to do some damage here, or maybe even find success on this retake with Kristen finding that kill onto Simple. He can start to scale. They picked up that extra rifle in towards short as well. Now, there's not a kit, but if they can just find the kills, it might not matter. Nexa is all alone, needs to delay so that bomb can't be defused, but he doesn't have a chance. And BC Game, not overextending, but he might give up his life here. No! Crouch peeks under. Andrew thought he had the timing of a lifetime. It's Kristen that catches him out, then disengage. You've seen these players start to scale. Nexter has found some success. You can remove Kristen. That opens up this bomb site and allows the bomb to potentially go down.
This is really difficult for OG because as soon as they deal with one player, the next wave of onslaught from BC Game just appears on the bomb site. Rosdos at least finally alleviates some pressure by getting rid of Nexa. That allows Prime Taps to grab an upgrade from a Deagle. Now all these players are sort of stuck in one area. Sandwich, ramp. You've really got to play off each other effectively here. Plenty of time. There's also utility and kits for OG. They start to make their way through in towards CT. Prime Tap's first point of contact. First test pass for OG. Now they can make things even more difficult for BC Game, but Simple alleviates everything. Eliminates them in the smoke. He doesn't even need to see his...
Andrew again looking to get very aggressive in the middle. Assassinito has opened up space on B. They could potentially explode, but look at the rotations. Might just wait to see what Andrew can do, but they're running out already. They want to go on to B, and there are all the CTs here. Every single one is present, and they're starting to find their frags. The kills coming through for the CTs. Andrew's flank will arrive, and the spin around doesn't find success, but Andrew does. Paints a pretty picture until he's taken down, and it leaves it to Simple. The 1v1. After Spook falls, the swing out, and it's all too... They are approaching this, I was going to say slowly, but then, okay, they do pull out the guns, the 5.7 and the MP9 combined for one, but Kristen doesn't get away. And with those two players falling, you know, there might be some space over at A.
Absolutely. You've just created a runway for you to go on towards this A bomb site. You know rotations are either going to be here already. So that's why these players of BC Game have just slowed down. They want to group up to make sure that they're tradable. Or the rotations are going to be a little bit delayed. They've just entered the line in the sand where BC Game cross ramp and these players move in from CT. Nikodos trying to be a thorn in BC Game's side, but that molly is brilliant. Assassinito has already got rid of Spook. It should be just a cleanup crew now on site, and Simple's even running through the fire and the flames just to guarantee an eco kill. And it'll get...
For Prime Taps to come around that corner. Next is holding the flashbang, so how good are these? What's the timing look like? This is opportunity on the first, but he will connect on that second. Volleyed off, falls back. You've got Adam B tucked in towards Firebox. Is there going to be any sort of utility? Not needed. Exodus spams him out and keeps on going through the smoke. A break on the next one does reveal himself, and he gets caught because of it. With Sassanito falling, it does fall to one player, and with 3 that swing him,
Still paranoid about B. Another re-smoke goes in. That means there's one less smoke for the retake effort. But Sassanito and Nexa, after Nikodos is able to get rid of Simple, both AWPs are now dropped on the floor. Crizin with a pocket of space in between the fire and the flames, and now he has to be the one to do the bulk of the damage. They don't know he's here, and they've not planted for themselves, but Crizin is able to get rid of Nexa. Rosdos on the way, he groups up in tandem and then steps in Crisin's shadow. Let's try and make this work. No smoke, as mentioned, for this defuse, but there is a kit in play. But Andu's already disengaged, as is the rest of BC game. They're all playing these really horrible angles where you got to go deep to invest, which burns more time off the clock. Andu will now reveal himself. That gives Crizin a chance just to escape and save. There is no time left on this clock. BC game, they are...
all you need to do is just don't go B. Just don't go B, and the round's won. And with Prime Taps's lurk, ready to strike from Palace. Looks pretty set. The destination is correct. A, where they're going. OG hear the smokes land, and they realize, well, we might just have to save this one.
Yeah, look, the money's not in a...
Andu again, going for this really pacey play. The flashbangs have set him up, but the spam good from Adam B. See, they were aware of that possibility. Even Nikolas looking down with his scope, and had a chance there, but not quite able to find purchase. Sanito, maybe his leg. He's looking for Spook. Oh, no, it's around that corner and walks straight into Nikodos' scope. So far so good for OG into this round. Simple now starts to get aggressive. But he gets caught out from Adam B. Just a little bit too revealed from Ticket. One by one. Domino's fall. Prime Taps finally answers back with one of his own, but I don't think Nex is going to get this down. No, Nikodos is already rotated. You can see what the intention was from this round, but as those two
really aids out, and then that just enables Nikodos to move to hold Palace, and the idea of the round for BC game is shut down pretty quickly. This one is very direct. They go in A immediately.
Pop's not here. Andu scales out quickly, but it's a double setup in towards Ticket that needs to be broken. One player's been spotted on the jump, but that might just bait in Crizin. Any flashbang to set up Andu, not needed. Okay, the flash does come over. Adam B trades out, and then Rostos slips in, so not expecting that third element to appear. Bombs down.
With the flank.
Blatant sentry. Yeah, and through the Palace, there is going to be this play from Spooks. They need to find these frags, and they're not quite connecting them. Nexter and Simple, not exactly revealed to Spook in Palace. Simple's just trying to find some way to enable Nexa to close this round. And he's just going to throw the flames forward, but it's not going to matter. There's a smoke grenade. They can defuse it. And so OG will at the very least walk away with 4 at the half. There may be a bit of a fake out over to A. All right, well, BCM have bought on it. Jeez, they're fully invested. We're simplifying the kill. I mean, I guess you don't have the kit. That's the tricky thing here. They are going to start to run over. They realize, yeah, okay, wool over our eyes. Bomb takes a little to go down. They're going to arrive in market just as it's planted.
It's ridiculous how many rotates there were there. Not a single player on this B bomb site to greet OG, but it'll be Nexa that opens the door of the idea of this retake. Adam B trying his best to isolate these kills, but he can't do it. And BC Game has started to overrun and retake this bomb site. Crizin started off doing some good work, but it's Simple's dualies to again chime in. Now it's OG, they're going to try and get in towards A, but getting past Simple's spray is another task. Spook has been having a little bit of a shocker on Mirage, and that continues here through no fault of his own in round 14. Space at least has been taken for OG, but it would need to be another retake here for BC Game.
Yeah, bombs down, but still a very difficult post-plant for you, especially with it not planted, kind of reverse default. It's just default, so this should be, you think, fairly straightforward. Comes through, but Simple finds his second spam. Actually, it's Simple that finishes the job too. He just wants to keep getting kills, and he's fighting them. You know who this last player is. You can just stick the defuse. Double digits without really needing to break a sweat.
For OG, the nightmare on Mirage continues. They'll buy back in again after getting this bomb down, not once but twice. Galil's across the board, utility sparse.
OG have been going for a lot of investments. That's a nice opening kill. Simple gets some damage off, but quick flick over to the head. At least Andrew will answer back. No one plays low, so yeah, they're just going to collapse on towards middle. They crush the T's. Chrism will scramble away. Let's just say has taken the space on B in the meanwhile, so he's managed to get some success off this lurk. X is low. Now gets quite dicey for BC game with the position that the T's have managed to find.
It gets tricky because if Nexa was jiggling over towards B apartments and he could see Chrism cross or he hears him jump out the window, then Aladose's position is going to be a lot better. But instead, he doesn't take it. He wants to back up to be with his teammates. So now it is a true 2 versus 3. The flank is quick. He reclaims control into the market. But now Sassanita is going to be aware because no one had rotated from BC game until that bomb had been planted. Andu's now known. Chrism jumps out the window. And the molly is enough to force Arazose not into a fight, but into an uncomfortable situation. Andu is just trying to take as much space as possible. Low HP of Chrism finally gets dealt with, and Sassanito will also dispatch of Aradose.
You do feel, looking back on it, he did need to take some space and take a risk.
Well, in their minds, they're just assuming that BC game are going to rotate over from CT and going towards market. Then he gets a kill, then that is the space naturally generated. It's another one of these fast plays. We talk about the previous, but we're right in the present. Adam B looking to take space, but it's simple spam that gets rid of one, but quickly OG reply with a man advantage, and Chrism can't overwhelm Sassanito. And Prime Taps has just walked through the CT smoke created by himself. Ridiculous.
Simple gets more comfortable both back in the server, but also with this new squad. Fast again, but Nikodor's punished. 2 players ready to greet him as he barrels up the ramp.
I got Simple in towards connector. They're aware that there could be this possibility of someone jumping in towards the window. So instead, Sassanito's going to bolster the attack by almost baiting Simple in. Tucks over towards stairs, and then the nade just lands flush shot on Spook. He's just been getting bullied on Mirage. And it's not really his fault. He's just been getting completely shut down. Simple now has a little glance, doesn't clear the complete corner. And little does he know that if he goes round that corner, there are 4 players of OG waiting in the wings. The rest of the squad, the last remnants to try and earn themselves at least 1 round here on this T side. But no one is giving over a fight. No one is giving over anything. So now you are just stuck in the desolate space in the middle of Mirage. And as soon as you pull out your smoke grenade, that's where Andu swings. Because, of course, that is the nature of CS2 timing. I'll also actually trade him out. But it's a 3v4. Nexa then just walks in and backstabs all of these players. Bomb is dropped. And you know what? You can't get by the in-game leader.